live internet-ish episode 56 right before we start. And we're about to kick off, so we're gonna let the music play. Y'all ready for a great episode? Let's get it. I can't tell you this plain, they take the same. Some think it's game, and I watch news. And it looks like rain, I don't act too old, but it can be cold. Mental ice is boiling frozen, don't get nasty. But not like Nas, but mental not like y'all. Man, like my first class math is not real hard.
Sorry off the top, don't play those games. Don't beat around the bush, get strong, you can't. Don't know your name, but I can guess your size. Ass fat in the back, pretty thick in the thighs. Can't find your waist, but get low, can you ride the bass? Try to pound through the rubber, I'ma slide it safe. Head first when I'm good at the red work.
One more time.
When I'm at my work.
I can't tell you this plain, they tell you the same. Some think it's game, and I watch the news and it looks like rain. Don't act too old, but I can be cold. Mental ice is boiling frozen, don't get a little nasty. But not like Nas, but mental not like y'all. You act like a first class Mac, it's not real hard.
Sorry off the top, don't play those games. Don't beat around the bush, get strong, you can't. Don't know your name, but I can guess your size. Ass fat in the back, pretty thick in the thighs. Can't find your waist, get low, can you ride the bass? Try to pound through the rubber, I'ma slide it safe. Head first when I'm good at the red work. Stereo when I'm at my work.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. It's another episode of Internet-ish. I am your host, D to the A. You know, around here we don't play. Wanna holler at you today. What's going on? I hope everybody's doing well. Episode 56. Have to correct myself because I actually said that last time. It was 55. It's 56 this time. So we here now. Since we here now, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's good to be here. Track was bumping, right? Super fire. I like that. Nice little smooth little dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was pretty dope. But again, I hope everybody's doing well. Glad to be here for another episode. So this week, today in particular on this episode, what we're gonna be talking about is like I was telling you, I like to talk about trials, switching kind of back and forth to kind of think about other things and always case after case after case after case. So the trial that we're talking about is the Latieca Stough trial. Now, if you're not familiar with this trial, Latieca Stough is a woman that was born and raised in South Carolina, but moved, if I'm not mistaken, to Colorado, in which she married a man named Al or Alvin Stough, in which he is a father of two kids. So after they got married, and this is in between the 2000, I want to say between 5 and 8, maybe 2005, 2009, maybe 10, something like that. And Latieca had a child of her own as well. So moving forward, they get married in Colorado, or whatever the case may be, and Al is in the Army, and Latieca Stough is a teacher. For those who never heard of Latieca Stough before, she is currently on trial for the murder of her husband's son. His name was Gannon Stough. Now, this trial has been going on now for 2 weeks, and a lot of people are watching to see what was going to happen. Today was the verdict for the trial. Today was the close the door. They read the verdict. But before we get to that, what I want to do is rewind you back to who she is and how she got to be where she's at right now. So Latieca Stough, again, born in South Carolina, is a teacher. Now, she married a military man who was in the Army and also was military defense, military weapon defense in the Army. So they had a very decent life, something you couldn't really argue about. You know what I'm saying? Very nice situation. If you ask myself, you have a school teacher, somebody that's in the military together. You know what I'm saying? They have a family. They can pay their bills. They can move forward. Everything seems to be fair. The problem is on January the 27th, the son of Al Stough became missing. This was around 6 o'clock. Latieca, the stepmother of the child, said that he didn't come home that day. After she makes a 911 call, she states that he never makes it home. Now, this gets people attention. Now, once this gets people attention, People start to talk. You know what I'm saying? They got a missing child. People are asking questions. This news travels fast. Anytime you have a missing child, news travels fast. So one thing leads to another. This information is gathered. It's a unfolding story. I mean, if I was to tell you from beginning to end, it would take more than just the 30 minutes on this episode. So we'll start at the home. Once the child is missing, they come to the home. They speak to the people at the home. They look around the home. They see what's going on at the home. You know what I'm saying? Now, from that point, Al isn't even in town, so the father isn't even home. Al flies in town now that his son is missing. He finds out his son is missing. So let's rewind it back. So once he's missing, the first objective is to try to look for him, try to find him. Now, this is usually the beginning when you find out that something's going wrong. Whenever someone is guilty or there's an issue, people don't act the same as they normally would. If you had a child that was missing or you had something that was an issue, you would address it accordingly. You would be frantic because this is your child. Imagine a child is 10 years old and he's missing. This isn't something that you're going to take lightly. This is going to be something that makes you want to move around. This is going to be something that makes you act a certain way. Now, keep in mind, police officers are familiar with how you're supposed to act in situations like this because they see it all the time. And they're also familiar with how people act whenever they're hiding something as well. Now, this leads to more and more about Latieca coming out. All right. So, one of the things that is a red flag from the very beginning with this particular situation is the fact that Latieca says that Gannon didn't come home after leaving to play with a friend, but he didn't go to school because he didn't feel good. So if he didn't go to school because he didn't feel good, then he shouldn't have been out playing as well. Now that's one. Now two, the case may be if he didn't feel good, he shouldn't have been out playing, but he didn't come home with his friend. That's what she says, right? So the next issue that they have is Gannon allegedly gets hurt numerous amounts of times. He's sick, first of all, that's why he doesn't go to school. Second, he hurts his foot. Third, there's supposed to be a fire or something that happens in the home on the couch that causes him to have an issue. Now, all this information comes out in the court trials. You know what I mean? So this last 2 weeks, this is all that they've been talking about. This is all people have been talking about, you know? Um, Now, with that being said, more like I said, more information comes out about what's going on in the day of this boy's disappearance. Things don't make sense. Where she went, what she did, and everything. So it just doesn't look right from the very beginning. If anybody would say so, that would be the first thing that you would say. It just doesn't look right from the beginning. That's number one. Number two, they get more evidence. Now, the first thing that becomes a red flag or issue in this particular situation, and keep in mind, when you have stressful situations, it does a lot. And this little boy was missing for a little bit of time. So one of the first things that happened that was detrimental in this particular situation is when the little boy was missing, his real mother came into town and came to look for him, and that put an issue in between his married family, you know, his step family. So instead of the stepmother Latieca staying around to help look for him and be around, she ends up leaving. She ends up going to like South Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, um, making her way to Florida. She makes her way to Florida. See, the thing about it is, while she's going back and forth, people are paying attention to things that's going on, and it ain't adding up. And this little boy's own father is paying attention as well. And for those who are just now joining the live, we're talking about the Latieca Stough trial that just ended today. And this is a woman who was alleged murdered her stepson that was 10 years old, uh, from Colorado, but she was from South Carolina. So just to bring it back to what I was saying, in the midst of the situation or what led up to the situation, um, when his mother came into play, it changed the dynamic of everything. Now that his real mom's there looking, his stepmom, they clashed their heads. So supposedly that's the reason for her to leave. So when she leaves, his father and her are going back and forth over the phone talking, and the police is listening. So all this ends up coming out over trial. You know what I'm saying? So as he's questioning her about the last day, because she was the last person, this all sums up the fact that she was the last person that was with him that day, supposedly when he disappeared. And again, this was January the 27th. So her story keeps changing. Now, this is the part that shows you what's really going on. There's a part right here that really kind of gave it away in everybody's eyes for her. So she keeps changing stories. One minute, this is the last thing that happened to him. The next minute, this is the last thing that happened to him. The next minute, this is the last thing that happened to him. So keep in mind, this is a 10-year-old boy who's missing. So as the stepmother is telling the father what happened to the 10-year-old boy, her story keeps changing. It don't add up. It keeps going from this to that to this to that. But it just doesn't add up. It doesn't end up being what it's supposed to be. With that being said, police are listening. Her and the father, that again, the husband and the father are distancing. Gann and Al, Gannon's dad, and Letitia, they're getting farther apart. They're arguing when they should be looking for the kid. They're separated. They're not even together. You know what I'm saying? That was the first red flag. Especially being a stepmom, they should be worried about where this child is, not arguing over what the relationship's like or whatever the case may be. So, with that being said, that's when the fun starts. There are so many stories about what happened. It's so many. It starts with, at first he didn't come home from hanging out with a friend, and then after that, it's someone kidnapped him. After that, it's someone else kidnapped him. Then after that, it's just like multiple different stories. Finally, until it gets down to the point where they actually go find her and arrest her and lock her up and then really interrogate her about what's going on and really get to the bottom of it. The FBI is involved in everything because again, she's going from state to state. It's not like she's just in one place where they know what's going on. She's going over state lines and all that. So when you start moving around as far as territory goes, it opens up allotment for more police to get involved. Now, with that being said, to make a long story short, the truth eventually does come out. That's when the truth starts to come out. You know what I'm saying? And there's different versions of the truth. One version of the truth is she says she doesn't really know what happened. She doesn't remember. She ends up saying, yeah, she did it. And I haven't even said what was done to the child. Keep in mind, I said he was missing. She said she did it. So what was done to the child? They find the child later under a bridge in Florida. After all this, that, and the third, she gets locked up. in Florida. They bring her back. They go through a bunch of changes to get her back from Florida to Colorado. She tries to run. She hits one of the police officers with a soda can. Like, it's just so much that went on with this particular woman. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But end up, um, the lady Letitia Stout ends up confessing that she murdered her 10-year-old son. You know what I'm saying? And this child was found under a bridge in Florida, but they were from Colorado. You know what I'm saying? And he was stabbed 18 times, hit in the head with a blunt force object at least 4 times, and shot as well. And this is a 10-year-old child. Come on. You know what I'm saying? But she ends up saying that she's out of her mind. She says she don't even know. Like she lost her mind. She was crazy at the time. That's what she says. Really. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, justice always prevails. Make a long story short, the woman is incarcerated. Her own family has to testify against her. Her daughter has to testify against her. Her brother has to testify against her. Her husband testifies against her, which are they're divorced now. And yeah, man, like real talk, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's really a rare situation because she ends up pleading insanity, and really that's what I'm gonna spend the rest of the time on this particular episode speaking about. Now this woman pleads insanity to murder and says that she wasn't in her right state of mind, that it was an alter ego that did it. It was another person inside of her, and at that time she wasn't in her right state of mind. I don't know if anybody believes that or if that's even possible. That people have multiple personalities, things like that, different sides. You know how like Beyonce got the Sasha Fierce, I believe it is. Everybody got their own, you know what I'm saying, that little persona, whatever the case may be. But even more than that, because this one allegedly murdered a 10-year-old in self-defense or thinking that it was somebody else. That's what allegedly ends up being said. Nah, nah, ain't no way. How was that even possible? As a person, how can you murder a 10-year-old child and claim that you weren't in your right state of mind when you did it, but then you take the body and put it in a suitcase and then hide it in Florida? How was that even possible? Like, I really need to understand how that's possible. For real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, truth comes to light at some point, and that's exactly what happened. They ended up finding that suitcase. And once they found that suitcase, they found that little boy. So it all fell apart. At that time, that's when everything ended up coming out. They used everything against her. From that point on, everything. They had surveillance. They had her phone data, her GPS data. They had phone call records, text messages, um, DNA evidence, anything you can think of. So eventually, it all ends up catching up with you sooner or later, you know? So as that case ends up running its course, they spend a lot of time and a lot of money bringing people in. This trial lasted almost 30 days. It was 21 days. 21 days, you know what I mean? So there was a lot to be said with that 21 days and everything that happened, you know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, it was a lot that went on. You know, they had to get people in, psychiatrists in, they had different people testify, so many different witnesses. It was a lot going on. Now, once the verdict came back, the funny thing about it is, once the verdict came back today, they the verdict was guilty for two counts of murder, and one was a count of murder, and the other was a count of murder for a person under the age of 12 by a trusted adult. Sums up what it was. And got another one for desecration of remains. I mean, they gave her like three or four different charges, but the ones that are gonna get her on the murder charges, that's the ones that are gonna like really give her the life sentences. You see what I'm saying? Coming out of Colorado, like man, they're gonna give a life. I'm pretty sure of that. She's not gonna get to play crazy. Her goal was to play crazy, but it didn't work. That's where it kind of messed up for him because they had got this psychiatrist lady. They had paid her to come up there and testify, but really she ended up saying like I couldn't really say everything I wanted to say because she didn't have an MRI. She didn't have a brain scan. They wanted them to scan the brain so they could see what was going on with her. Why is that so important, you ask? They wanted to scan her brain to make sure she had no head traumas because without verifying if she had any head trauma, they couldn't really say if she had any mental issues or if she was crazy or not. Because you can either be crazy or you can have mental issues due to having trauma, being hit in the head or whatever the case may be. So that part was the part, but it was never really gonna work. Now think about a jury of 12 people sitting, and they're listening to someone say that yes, they did do things that ended up killing a child, and these acts were more so of not premeditated that she thought ahead of time, were intentional. There's no way around it. Not to be stabbed 18 times, not to be hit 4 times and be shot without thinking that that's what you were trying to do when you meant to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? So she got found guilty. You know what I'm saying? She got found guilty for two counts of murder. And those right there are going to be the life sentences. So more than likely, she will never make it out. Like literally never make it out. Like I said, this lady was a school teacher. Her background, her credentials, she had like 3 different degrees, all that, you know what I'm saying? Now all that's gone. Just like that. It's crazy. Yo, don't mind me. I'm just looking at the effects real quick. I didn't even really know you could go live and do these effects like that. I'm gonna try one day. Okay. Back to what I was saying though. She ends up just saying so many different things about having multiple personalities and stuff like that. That was never gonna work. This woman was not crazy. She knew what she was doing when she did it. One of the dead giveaways about her knowing that she knew what she was doing is just the things that she did. There's no way that you. It's like which came first, chicken or the egg thing. It's like you don't know which one comes first or last. You just I don't know. It's one of those weird things. But you could tell like her intentions on on by her actions. You can tell what she meant by what she did. So no bueno. Did not fly. Did not work. She out of here. You hear me? Out of here. Um, there you go. Candy, man, look at you. I'm gonna have to move my time down a little bit just so we be on the same time. Cause you just showed up 3 minutes before I'm about to end again. Yo, for real, I done told a whole 30-minute story about somebody, and now you ain't even here. You gonna have to go watch it in the beginning. I can't tell the story all over again, man. That's cold. For real. That's cold. Yeah. Oh. For real. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. You okay? You alright? I was make sure you're good. So, yeah, man, I missed. I gotta go back and watch it. Yeah, that's what I was telling you, yo. You missed like 26 minutes of me. Okay, so listen, I'm gonna give you the roundabout, so it'll make you want to go back and watch this. Plus, you in it, like you and Ray Ray was the star of the last episode. I really appreciate y'all, like for real. She on my page. So matter of fact, let me go ahead and give a shout out to Miss Teresia Smith Brown. You know what I'm saying? And the candy coated things that she got going on for sure. So check it out. This is what we got going on real quick. We have a woman. Her name is Latieca Stough. Now this is going on right now, so you can go. I'm gonna go watch it. I know, right? I hope she see this because she on the page. You know what I'm saying? So check it. Again, now this is going on right now, so you can go Google it. You can check it. You can see it for yourself. There's a lady named Latieca Stough. She was from South Carolina, right? You follow me? She married the dude that was in the army, and she moved to Colorado. And he had a son. His name was Gannon. You know what I'm saying? Gannon ended up becoming missing a couple years ago, and you can see what this could lead to because she's on trial for murder of a 10-year-old. You know what I'm saying? The trial just ended today, and the verdict was guilty. You know what I'm saying, for murder. And this was a very big case, so a lot of people knew about it because she pleaded insane. It wasn't that she didn't say she didn't do it. She just said she was crazy. She pleaded insane. Well, her name is Latieca Stough. It was crazy, man. This chick, for sure, for sure. I feel you. I definitely feel you. So this chick claimed that she had multiple personalities and everything. Like she say she was insane. Like she killed this kid, put him in a suitcase, and took him to Florida and threw him over a bridge. And he was like 10 years old. That was his stepmom. That's the crazy part. That was his stepmom. She was a school teacher at that. Like, come on, is it crazy, ain't it? That shit crazy. I'm telling you, go look her up. She said she had multiple personalities and everything. She said chick named Maria did it. She blamed it on the Mexican dude and everything. Said Laguardo did it. Shit crazy. They had that shit all over the news, man. I've been watching that shit live on YouTube. I'm telling you, they got so many different trials going on right now. You know, they got old boy trial going on right now, Young Thug, and everybody in Atlanta getting locked up around him. Yeah, that jump was crazy though. Oh, it's about time for them to lay down. Matter of fact, it's 10 o'clock. It's probably about that time for them to start slowing it down, huh? You gotta check out the beginning of the episode though. I did it in a different way. I think I like the new way that I brought it through. So you gotta check out the new way I did it. And I'm still gonna post that question. I'm still gonna post that question that how does everybody feel about their 10-year-old? See, right now you wish your 10-year-old was at work, don't you? Uh-huh. Yeah, we still asking everybody how would you feel about the 10-year-old working? How would you feel? Uh, Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to move that. Monday's question. Okay, this is Monday's question. How you feel about your 10-year-old working? It was just working on 10 years. Ah, that was funny. They going to bed now. I wish all of them was at work, even the 2-year-old. Yo, listen. Listen, yo. Hey, I'm gonna need you to get ready to think about coming on camera with me so we can talk about this stuff together, yo. Cause you might make a good female co-host. I've been wanting a woman. I got a homeboy that come through on the regular. I should send him through right now so we could laugh for a minute. But we'll be on here for the next 2 hours, so I'm not gonna do it right now. You know what I'm saying? But yo, I might have to have you on here because you be making me laugh. You be making me laugh for real. That is Monday's question. How do you feel about kids? What age is the right age for kids to work? We love our kids, yes, but is it time to get them out in the workforce so they can think about a better future sooner? Since kids are growing up faster, should they work sooner? Is the question. How soon is too soon? Ding. Hey, and I got another one for you guys. Did y'all know that Steve Harvey had a judge show? He's a judge now. I was like, word, Steve Harvey's a judge now. Like like Mathis. Like that type. That jump blew my mind. I was like, what is Steve doing everything, man? Steve done did everything but played professional sports and music. He done did everything else. I don't think he played for a team. I don't think he dropped the album. Other than that, he done did everything else. The last thing he need to do is drop an album and preach. Oh word! I had a double back for him. I just felt like I just know where he at. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. Ooh, hey, I'm gonna be honest. It would not surprise me. Yeah, do that. Do that. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. Oh Lord, let me find out. No, that is a shame. Boy, that is a shame. Oh, that's a shame. He got a long look. He better slow down because he got a long road ahead of him. You know what I mean? Like pump your brakes. Don't be making decisions you can't take back. These are life decisions, bro. Don't jump. Uh, I'm telling you. Don't do it. Yes, ma'am. Make sure, yeah, for sure. And make sure when you get a chance, you double back and check out the first 28 minutes of the episode. I'll be on probably another 5 or 10 minutes. But thank you for coming through, because you actually stretched me out another 15. But yo, I appreciate you. All right. Couple more things we're going to run through real quick. And I will be out for today, and I will be back on Friday. But I do want to always say thank you for everybody, for sure. Thank you so much for coming through. I love you guys. I appreciate all the love. Thank you for everybody that comes through on the page. Yo, check out the stunt video 101. Show you how to stunt 101. You ain't never seen a big body move like that. Photos, and I'm smoking all foes. Check me out. That's on the story right now. It's actually on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on TikTok. But it's really doing the best in the story on Facebook. So yeah, check me out for sure. Yes, yes, yes. What is been going on? What's been going on? I'm about to tell y'all what it is in about 2 seconds. And if you get a chance, check out the Internet Ish theme that's also playing on the timeline as well. Miss Teratia's Candy on the timeline. Promote your page on the timeline. I'm scared to even play the music or they're gonna block my content. Yeah. So that is pretty much what it is for this episode. But I do thank everybody for coming through. I'll be back at it this Friday. Da 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 da. Yeah. Matter of fact, we on that road from 2 to 5, trying to get past 2K up to 5. So that's on the list of things to do as well. But I do appreciate everybody for coming through. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here for tonight, but it's always a pleasure. If you got any questions, always come through, leave a comment, leave a like, send a message. If you're on YouTube, add me on YouTube. It's $1, YouTube/$1, DALLASIGN, 2 A's. That's DALLASIGN, and number 1. Facebook, $1212. Instagram, $, you know. With that being said, I'm gonna get ready to slide. I hope you have a great night.
I can't tell you this plain, it stay the same. Some think it's game, and I watch news, and it looks like rain. I don't act too old, but it can be cold. Mental ice is borderline froze. They know when they get a little nasty, but not
not like none. Mid top, not like yours. You act like a first class Mac, it's not real hard.
Shorty off the top, won't play those games. Don't beat around the bush, get slow you came. Don't know your name, but I can guess your size. Ass fat in the back, pretty thick your thighs. Can't find your waist, so get low. Can you ride the bass? Tryna pound through the rubber, I'ma slide it safe. Head first when I'm good at the bed work. Stellio when I'm back from my work.
I can't tell you this plain, they tell you the same. Some think it's game, and I'm watching news, but it looks like rain. I don't act too old, but it can be cold. Niggas how ice is boiling frozen. Y'all to get a little nasty, but not like nine. But mid top, not like yours. You act like a first class Mac, it's not real hard.
Shorty off the top, won't play those games. Don't beat around the bush, get slow you came. Don't know your name, but I can guess your size. Ass fat in the back, pretty thick your thighs. Can't find your waist, so get low. Can you ride the bass? Tryna pound through the rubber, I'ma slide it safe. Head first when I'm good at the bed work. Stellio when I'm back from my work.
I can't tell you this plain, they tell you the same. Some think it's game, and I'm watching news, but it looks like rain. I don't act too old, but it can be cold. Mid top, ice is boiling frozen. Y'all to get a little nasty, but not like nine. But mid top, not like yours. You act like a first class Mac, it's not real hard.
Shorty off the top, won't play those games. Don't beat around the bush, get slow you came. Don't know your name, but I can guess your size. Ass fat in the back, pretty thick your thighs.